in audio. 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 In audio.
Yes. What's happening, people? Welcome back to Saeed TV. And we are live for the Sunday Unfiltered podcast. I'm sorry we can't give you some happiness and joy. You know what I mean? It's one of them. You have to,
Depends what you're looking for, to be fair, mate.
well, it depends what you're looking for exactly. For the rival fans, maybe. But for United fans that are generally watching the channel, we're back and the Premier League is back, and United have lost again against the top six away from home. But before we get into all of that, big up to everybody. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We got Double A in the building. Double A, what are you telling me? You good, bro?
Football aside, yeah, I'm absolutely fantastic, mate. To be fair to you, it's good to be back. I've been missing a couple of weeks, so yeah, always nice to still be welcomed. But yeah, big up to you, big up to Fort as always. Looking forward to dissecting this because I think there's a bit of an overreaction going on from what I've seen, and we just need to take a chill pill, just relax a little bit, to use an old phrase.
Yeah, absolutely. Flawless in the building. Flawless. What are you saying, man? You good, bro?
I'm blessed. Big up for having me, as always, man. I always look forward to this show. Despite the Manchester United result, always look forward to this show. And it's good to have Double A back as well. And I agree with him in terms of the overreaction. Every time United draw or lose, it seems the sky is falling. You know what I'm saying? Like all of the time. So I'm sure we'll discuss all of it.
Absolutely. Before we start, I know HK has got super chat and we will get into everything. Quick reaction to the Graham Potter sacking. Flawless, start off with you. Graham Potter's been sacked as Chelsea manager. What do you make of that, bro?
I think he's been harshly done by. Don't you agree? You know what I'm saying? I thought he was great from a Manchester United fan perspective. As the Chelsea manager, I thought he was doing a phenomenal job. And he should have been sacked. But all jokes aside, yeah, he had to go. I'm just surprised. I'm surprised it happened now. And it didn't happen before. Because there was games before where he could have gone. It just seems very strange that it's a 2-0 loss to Aston Villa that makes them go, all right, let's pull the plug here. When there's been worse games, but the place was toxic. Like Lewis was telling me, Timo was telling me as well, that the Chelsea fans were singing, you're getting sacked in the morning, you don't know what you're doing. So the writing was on the wall, and Chelsea they've gone away from there. What was it? It was years. What was it? Years, not months. That's what they said.
Yep.
But clearly, it was months.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Me and Saeed were saying before we went live, we had a bit of a chat about it, and I think first of all, big up to Potter, because he's gonna collect that bag. 50 mil payoff is crazy, but I feel sorry for him. I think in this country, you know, there's certain people in the media or fans are so ready to have a backlash against British managers, young British managers getting these big jobs, the positions at Chelsea United, so on and so forth. But when they do get the job and things don't go correct for them straight away, they're out the door before you can even say boo to a goose kind of thing. And I think yes, he walked into what was already a nightmare. You know, it seemed like a very tenuous place to be anyway for their season. Didn't start off well at all. And he's tried to do his best. And sometimes when you go into a big job, it consumes you. And I think he probably was a little bit of a deer in the headlights. But given the season, I don't think he's getting to the point where he's coming halfway through. He should have got to the end of the season, had a summer with these players, and then gone from there. You know, what's the best they can do now? And like say, me and you, Saeed, was saying, I think it is definitely going to be Nagelsmann now. I think he'll be in. He'll be confirmed tomorrow before you've even had your Weetabix, to be fair. I think that deal will be rapid. And like I said to you, maybe Potter goes to Spurs. Maybe that's something they could look at. Whether that'll happen, I don't know. But I think for Chelsea, they've obviously made the decision what's best for them. But it seems like, again, despite the owner, they're very quick with the revolving door for managers at that club.
Yeah, that club never changes, man. I'm just checking here, man. Napoli 3-0 down to Milan. Flipping out, what a shock that is, man.
No Osherman, isn't it?
Yeah, Osherman, yeah, there you go. I know. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think for me, listen, man, Milan have done a job, but listen, they're going to still win the title anyway, so we'll see. But yeah, listen, Potter, we wanted you to stay. It didn't happen. Listen, man, Nagelsmann, I think it will be the same story. You get me? Like, Chelsea fans are spoiled, man, and they'll call out Nagelsmann as soon as it goes badly wrong. So the Chelsea merry-go-round manager, nothing's changed by that football club. He said he was going to be a long-term manager, his long-term approach. People thought Todd Bowles was going to be any different to the new owner. Nah, mate, listen, he's out, and we'll see what happens with them. But yeah, guys, let's get stuck into it. There's nearly 500 people in the chat already. Please like the video right now if you're enjoying the content, and make sure you smash the like button regardless. Make sure you're following Talking Kit on YouTube and Sarcasm City as well. Big up to Alien Tenno, always in the chat, says, we keep playing like this. It's a top 4 is cooked. This is a top 4 is cooked, bro. And HK Music is coming in strong. Saeed, what did I tell you about Bruno and Luke Shaw? Fan favorites, both shit players. I think for me, them two were in question today, and we will discuss about them too as well. But I'm not gonna lie, today I don't think we look like we're gonna win the game. Probably from the first 10 minutes, I kind of had a feeling that the game wasn't going to be an easy game. It was going to be an easy game regardless, but I thought the application and just the tactics for me, I didn't understand it. Sabitzer as a lone 6, I didn't understand that. McTominay further forward. Weghorst had no service. It's difficult as it is anyway. I thought Anthony was bright, you know what I mean? But again, loose touches here and there. I just thought today, to me, Newcastle, you know what's coming, Ten Hag. I just thought, to me, what was the game plan today? Like, what was the combinations? Bruno Fernandes looked lost in that 8 role again. What happened there? Rashford, anonymous. I don't think he even played. I can't remember what he did. Martial looked bright when he came on. Flawless. I start off with you, man. What happened today? What went wrong today for you?
Everything went wrong today. Like, everything. Everybody pretty much was bad. But for the first time in a long time, when I'm watching the game and I'm on the watch along, I like my panelists, shout out to Eddie and Taza in the chat, asking me, like, what would you do? What can Ten Hag change? I didn't have an answer. I had no idea. And that's very, very rare. And yes, Martial was on the bench, and Martial, I agree, was bright when he came on. But I said at halftime, bringing on Martial for Weghorst isn't going to change too much. What the issue was there was just, and there's no need to do mental gymnastics about it. Them players are not good enough, and we know this. That's why I don't understand the overreaction. We know McTominay is not good enough. We know Bruno's, well, actually, I can't say that with Bruno. I've criticized Bruno heavily on your channel and other places, and it's because of performances like today. There is no difference with the Bruno Fernandes performance today and the performance against Fulham, apart from the fact he scored a penalty and he scored against 9 men. And then people, remember when we did the player ratings and people were talking about all 7, 8 out of 10. You tell me, Saeed, double A, you watch both games. People in the chat, let me know both games. What was the difference between Bruno Fernandes' performance today and his performance against Fulham? There wasn't one. You know what I'm saying? Spoiler. I'm saying there wasn't one. But yet, because he scored 2 goals, one of them being a penalty and one against 9 men, or 7, 8 out of 10. No, he's not good enough. And the reason why I've started with him, because he is a prime example of what I'm talking about when I say Manchester United need to raise the bar, need to raise the level. Saeed, you mentioned it, Bruno in the 8. I don't think playing McTominay and Sabitzer as 2 6s and Bruno in the 10 changes anything. I don't think putting Fred into that mix changes anything, because you know what?
Top 6
3 of those 4 players are just not good enough. There's a reason why in the first 2 transfer windows Ten Hag's he signed 3 midfield players, because it's a problem area. We still all need, when we do our end of the season review and what we want to see improve, we all mention midfield. I want to personally see an upgrade on Eriksen. I want to see a backup to Casemiro come in. And I also want to see Sabitzer signed as well. That's 3. I also want a number 10. That's 4. We are still so short in that area. I said many a time on this channel, on this show in particular, don't let the good results fool you. Like, these players are playing at their maximum or above their maximum. Ten Hag is managing to his maximum. But eventually, the players are going to fall off. And we're seeing that now with injuries. No Casemiro, no Eriksen. It's McTominay and Bruno. It's the same players as last season who Manchester United had our worst ever season. So that's what went wrong. Not just on them, though. Dalot wasn't good enough. Shaw has reverted back to type. De Gea will speak on, because it was an interesting comment that you put up just as we started the show. Ironically,
I don't understand how De Gea becomes a problem in this.
But it's not a problem. But the comment said, I won't know this because I wasn't there, but for anyone who was there, the Newcastle fans were cheering every time De Gea had the ball. That's what the comment said. That tells you all you need to know. If fans are clocking it when they're there, you know what I'm saying? People who are waved and cheering, if De Gea has the ball, that tells you he's a problem. And I've said this about De Gea's distribution. Yes, he made some incredible saves. The double save, won't dispute that. But if Manchester United want to raise the levels of where we want to go, then we have to improve in certain areas. Like, we want to not be in a top 4 race. We want to go compete for Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. So all our players should be of better of Casemiro, Martinez, and Varane, who I thought were actually the only reason we was 0-0 for so long was mainly because of them 2. And I give De Gea his credit as well. But yeah, like I said, it's just the majority of them players out there today, not good enough. Not good enough. Simple as that.
I'm going to read some of the super chats here. There's over 600 of these in the chat. Make sure you like the video. Zamia says, flawless, 22 points ahead of everyone. Said we would crumble. United are crumbling.
We're not. The thing is, to this, big up Zane for the super chat, we're not crumbling. People don't forget about this. I've said for the longest on this show, we can't win the Premier League title. When everyone was talking about Premier League title, the difference 5 or 6 weeks makes. Because 5 or 6 weeks ago, people were talking title charge. And when I was on this channel, on this show saying, look at the team, people were like, yo, why are you being so negative? Why are you not backing the team? I said, look at the players. Now people are talking top 4. But we can still go on and win 2 trophies. We can still win 2 next trophies.
Yeah, I hope so, man. Freddie Marcel, big up to you. Goes, Newcastle away is no joke. No Cassie, Eriksen, and Wambi. Zamias says, Dennis, a great Jesus and Cole coming for you next season. Champions League is ours.
Can't even win the Europa League. What are you talking about?
Or the League Cup, or the FA Cup.
Yeah, you're talking about champs.
Yeah. Big up to Zed says, Saeed, I know you don't want to hear this, but David glued to his line and can't put us past. Is costing us so much. Varane as well. Veghorst, McTominay, SMH, and obviously this guy's in here. Man, you're streaming, bro. Focus on your stream, man.
This guy's streaming,
Stream. This guy, man. Big up Lewis, man. Make sure you follow his channel. But you know what, though, man? Double A, man. Because it's not going to be an easy game anyway, and I'm not going to lie to you. What I really felt is that I thought we were going to lose the game. I put up a front to say, you know what, 2-1, I think it'll be all right. But what's going on, man? Like, what went wrong for you I know Flora says everything went wrong, but can you give me a little bit more specifics, maybe, as to what kind of you thought was a telling point today?
The bottom line, and it's very simple. The manager got everything wrong today. I think the book needs to stop with Ten Hag on everything that he chose to do in this game. I mean, I love Ten Hag. I wouldn't have any other manager right now for me. I think he's perfect for Manchester United and what he's done. But today he had a shocker. He had probably the worst. You can talk about the 7-0, you can talk about this or whatever, but everything was wrong today. We're talking about playing Sabitzer 6 and McTominay at 10 and then swapping at half time, when what he should have done is dragged McTominay off. I'm not going to go too hard on McTominay because I'm bored of that conversation. Like, it's getting to the point now where someone at the club high up is banging his mum, because he reminds me.
Jesus, this guy,
That just went past me then.
Oh my!
Listen, do you remember when you used to play football as a kid? Now, I'm not even joking. Yeah, do you know when you used to play football as a kid? Yeah, in your Saturday team now, and the manager's son used to play, and he was shit, and he'd play every single week. That's Scott McTominay. He's the
manager's son.
He's the manager's son. His mum must be getting it from Murtaugh or Arnold or something. I don't know, man. Because why is he playing? Because he's not good. And you can score 2 goals against a rubbish Spain and the game before that, whatever. He's terrible. He's not a good footballer. I don't care what anyone says. But like I said, Max, I'm not going to keep going on about him because I'll be here all night. I think we've all been excited about this season because of how bad last season was.
Yeah.
But it seems to me as if we are now coming out the other side of what has been the world's longest new manager bounce. When the first time you're about to you're with a worldie, or you're with
your significant other.
And it's the first time.
Significant other.
First time you're jumping in the sheets. And you go for time, like missions, marathon, yeah? That's what this is now. We're on the other side. We're drained. We are drained. Our body is drained of everything. Our body is drained of everything. That's what it feels like to me. And it's now, we're just... Sorry, boys.
Nah, it's all right, man. Everyone's got their analogies, innit? This is the analogy.
This is the MUFC Unfiltered podcast, man. You live in the name right now.
I don't even know where this is coming from. We're coming on the other side of this now. We need that bottle of Lucozade to man up and round 2 and thing. Yeah. What I want us to do now is we need to play the rest of this season smart, and
facts.
Like I said, we always had to play the Premier League games. They were always going to be there. Thank God that the FA Cup's finally coming to an end, but we still got them Europa League games, and we've still got to get Chelsea in somewhere, which again is going to cause us another headache.
I think. Sorry to cut you off. The last. I think you said this thing. Timo said this to me. The available weekend is like the last week. You know what I'm saying? If we get, I think it's the last week, so it'll be midweek.
We've maybe got a couple of finals in there.
Bro,
what worries me most is that we crumble. You ever seen that meme of that raccoon with some ice and he drops it in the water and it just dissolves?
Yeah.
That's United when Casemiro's not in the team. We just dissolve. We don't, and that is terrible to think that one player just affects this club so bad and this team so bad. I just wish we could play better. That's what it is at the moment for me.
But the fact that you said there, like, don't play McTominay, is Fred better? Yes. Is Fred the answer? No.
That's the problem.
That's where the issue. No, that's where the issue lies. The fact that we're talking about Lindelof or Fred in midfield is Manchester United Football Club. Where to Saeed, like, that shouldn't be happening. But I like the new manager bounce analysis that you use in terms of, and that's why it ties into what I was saying about Ten Hag managing at his maximum, the players being at their maximum. This drop-off was always going to happen, whether it's just a Rashford, for instance, who's not been at the heights he has been. But the sky's not falling.
What, though? You know what, though? I'm big up to Zane Yassis here. Trossard and Jesus better than Rashford. Again, that's his own opinion. Zane Yassis back about it. He was ghosted for a while, and then now he's
Yeah,
back,
man,
man.
you
You know what I mean?
disappeared.
So,
You know what I'm
yeah, he
saying?
disappeared, man. So hopefully you're okay, Zane Yassis. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Zane Yassis said if Arsenal win the league, we could get Madison, Rice, Bellingham, and Tony. Who's Tony? Is it Ivan Tony?
Ivan Tony. He's
Ivan
talking
Toney,
about. At least
okay.
at least spell his name right, Zane. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
innit? I mean, is that
He-
Tony Martial? Because you can have Tony Martial if you want.
Yeah. And
You know what
Ivan
I mean?
Tony's on his way to OT. Just
Yeah,
spoil it
man.
for those that don't know.
You know, for me though, Fred issue, McTominay issue. The thing is for me though, why Ten Hag got it wrong for me is that I didn't know what the plan was in midfield. You know what I mean? So we can
Yeah.
say Fred, McTominay, Bruno. I just don't know what we're trying to do in midfield. Like, was it to contain? Was it to have 1-6 as in Sabitzer, Bruno and McTominay further forward? That's where I got confused. So I was like saying to myself, well, I'd rather for me play double pivot and then have maybe one as the attacking, and then have be more pragmatic, but at least you're controlling the game. Have two in there.
Yeah.
Then having one, you're getting outnumbered.
Yeah, you know what the two things was of our midfield that Ten Hag was trying to do was hope and press. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying?
You can't
He
do
looked
that,
at
man.
he looked at our options. You can't, but is if we play McTominay and Fred in the 2-6s and Bruno in the 10, or McTominay and Sabitzer 2-6s, we still get beat. To
But
me,
is
we
there a
still-
better approach, though? Is there a better approach, though, rather than having a bit on its own? On its own, though.
You know what? He tried something different. Do I think there's a better approach? No, because I think all the approaches are not good.
I
They're
think
all
both
different levels of very, very, very poor. There is no midfield combination of 2-6s and a 10, a 6, 2 8s that I look at and go, you should have done this. There is no midfield combination with the midfield options. We have Sabitzer, Fred, McTominay, Bruno, double A mentioned Lindelof. If you want to throw Lindelof, if there's another midfielder in there that we could maybe mention, then who else? What? Maybe a Martinez, but then you're losing what he brings defensively at centre back. Then you're putting Lindelof at centre back or Harry Maguire.
I prefer the groundsman. Put the groundsman there. I'd rather him than McTominay, man.
I'm not a fan of
There's a
McTominay.
60-year-old steward, yeah, that sits near that has worked at near my seat for God knows how long. I'd rather her in CDM, mate. Get Anne in.
You know
Anne
what's
in.
crazy?
Like I hear you with it, but I'm just looking at it and going, I don't believe there is a solution. I think if I come up with a midfield on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 0. You might come up with one that's 2 out of 10. Saeed, you might have one that's 3 out of 10.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
there's a question though. I was watching, I was reading Ten Hag's comments, and he said something about McTominay is a midfielder. You know what I mean? As in, like, you know, because they was talking about him maybe playing further forward, and he came out not press conference, but I don't know if it's quotes coming out from the media, but he came out saying that McTominay's a midfielder. So I had to assuming that he was going to tell him, right, you're still a holding midfielder. Then today he put him further forward. So I didn't understand the you know what I mean? Like,
Mind games.
Again, it's mind games, of course. Of course, it's mind games. But as a fan, again, it didn't work. Big up to HK Music. In the cup final, we had Casemiro and Fred. We had and today we had McTominay and Sabitzer. There was a huge difference today. Only cost was Bruno shit in both games.
Hey, HKN, talk to him in it because they don't want to hear you. You know what I'm saying? When that man is poor, people don't want to talk about it. He was shocking today. We got packed 7-0 by Liverpool, and people were still defending him. That's when I realized is
what is it with him in big games though? In the big away games, today listen, you know me in it. I've got this feeling that you know what, when Bruno Fernandes needs to be kind of applauded, I'll give him his true credit. But when it needs to be criticized, I'm not the one to shy away from it. You know how people say to me, "Oh, you shy away from David De Gea." With Bruno Fernandes, I've never shied away from it. Away from home against the top 6, the guy goes missing, and people say to me, "Well, it's not only just him, but you're the talisman. You're the player that." We kind of look for inspiration.
He's a captain.
Again, and that's something that
people
say one of his best attributes is leadership. All right, lead then.
You need to lead by doing. You need to lead by doing.
Yeah. My point is when I say lead, whether it's by doing, I agree, or by like vocally, like, but I'm saying go and live up to the name or live up to the title. People have said he's lead. You know why he always ghosts in big games? Because he's just not that good. Said it before. He's just not that good. People are going to continue to do. Yeah, go on.
Sorry, bro. I was going to say I didn't mean to cut you off. I love Bruno, and I think from where we were when he come in to what he did over that 18 months, I can't fault him for it. But now we need more, and there's a few other players I need more from. There's a lot of players I need more from, but
Yeah.
him having the armband and him having this influence in the dressing room, you believe he's loved by all the players. He's obviously loved by Ten Hag. We now need to see more than what we're getting from you, because as Flawless has said for a while now, and I'm not gonna lie, I've tried to deny it and saying, oh, I think he's being a bit too harsh, this and this. I'm starting to run out of things that I can back him and defend him with, because we're seeing it all too often now. And whether, I've even tried to use the excuse that he's playing every single game, he's playing every minute, that he's knackered, he's this. He's only played a couple of games with Portugal over 2 weeks. I don't think he played both or whatever in international football. He's come back and he looks no better. So does he need an extended period out of the team? But then it's like, who replaces him and stuff like that. So we are in a catch-22 of he's having to play because there's no one else. And it goes back to the McTominay issue at CDM with no Casemiro. So it's kind of a case of we're having to play these players rather than we wanting to. I need more from Bruno, because it's going to get, if we get bought by Qatar or whoever, and the money's there to buy players, then performing players aren't going to be around for much longer. So he needs to really find some form and quick, I think, for me. Yeah.
Big up to Winter Surfer here.
Big up my guy.
Happy for Independence Day. Listen, enjoy it, man. Enjoy
Enjoy
Winter
man.
Surfer, man.
Yeah, man. You might get back in the top half, Surfer. Let's go, man. Up the Chelsea.
Yeah.
Chelsea.
40 points.
Chelsea. Get to that magical 40-point mark. 100%.
Exactly. I think for me, you know what it is for me with Bruno Fernandes is that, people can say today, like I had a lot of people coming at me saying, but Bruno wasn't in his preferred position. But I'm sorry, I was hearing, well, he can play in the 8 role, he can play in that position. I want to see Bruno Fernandes at least have a refined game, at least do the basics right. And again, away from home, he lost the ball 19 times today.
Yeah,
that's not good enough.
I bet that's more than he completed passes.
Well, maybe it is. That's
Probably is. I'm a shout Bainsy. Guaranteed someone in the chat, or if not, it's close. Guaranteed it's close.
Let me know in the chat, people, because I just think for me, I want to see the basics then. If you're not going to do all of this, like play the ball in behind, do a number 10 role, do the basics right. And again, the basics is not there. And I think in the big 6, I've always called it for me. You can have Bruno Fernandes in your team and in your squad, but I want to see competition. I want to see, right, is that the only way we're going to play? Like, HK, what do you call it? You said it there, and I'm like, okay, Double A, we need a different something different. But I'm like, yeah, we do. I've always said we need a different player who can protect the ball better, make sure we're composed on the ball. He made 13 passes today.
And this is
wait. Someone said he made that, so I was right. I just guessed that.
Wow.
I just know that from watching the game.
Maybe score, Harvey. I don't know.
But that's not a surprise. And again, people, I want everybody who rates him to be right, because then that means he'll be a better player for United and we win more. I don't want to sit here and criticize, but the more and more I watch him, I'm just like, it's just not it. And that's okay. Do I believe he can be a squad player? Yes. I'm not saying sell him today. There's games where he's played well. For instance, the away leg over and back against Barcelona, I thought he was very good.
Amazing.
Our best attacker. The game after against Leicester, I thought he was very good. On top of the 2 assists, I think he got. But go on, Double A.
It's telling that him and Sancho are, for me, the only 2 players that aren't getting better under Ten Hag. You look at every other player that he's improving. Yeah, we could talk about Shaw, talk about Delo, talk about Rashford. I know there's some stuff about Rashford that people are going to say, but the goal scoring is there, and that's what he wasn't doing last season.
Yeah.
Sancho, he's had problems, whatever. He's not improving. He's not getting any better when I'm seeing him now. And you can talk about the goals we conceded today were both avoidable. The first one, McTominay and Sancho, I think, Anthony came off at 0-0 and it was on that side. He's not tracking back. He doesn't defend. Anthony does that. And McTominay was at fault as well for it, losing the ball and being a general idiot. But him, Sancho and Bruno are the 2 that I'm worried most for in this team. And one has the potential to be a very expensive mistake or flop, as it'll be called. We need more from them. And I think Bruno if Ten Hag is the man he says he's showing that he is in terms of taking players out when they're not playing well, I think when we get Casemiro back and Eriksen is fit, we need to see a midfield free of Eriksen, Sabitzer, and Casemiro. I need to see something different from. We've not seen Eriksen in the 10 yet at Manchester United, and we need to see it.
Sabitzer in the 10.
I think I would prefer.
I like Eriksen's actual natural position is he is a 10.
Yeah. But a lot of people didn't like Eriksen. Everyone said, "Oh, Eriksen sub him. Oh, Eriksen's not that great."
Again, because people don't realize, because people were talking about how bad he is in defensive transition, and he's too. If you don't keep the ball, it don't matter how well you are in defensive transition. Eventually, you're gonna get caught. That's what it is. Because even to add on to what you were saying, Double A, the 2 goals that Newcastle scored, we gifted them trying to play out from the back. Why? I'm shouting at my TV saying, why are we continuously trying to play out from the back, especially with Weghorst up top? Go direct. Man. Rashford's decent in the air. Even if you lose the first ball, you can then try and win the second ball. And even if Newcastle win it back, they're 75, 80 yards away from your goal. It's in their half. There's no danger there. Why do we persist with playing out from the back? I didn't get that. Made no sense.
By the way,
that's how they got their 2 goals.
Weghorst.
Vibes FC needs to back off. I need to get out. Like he's Igalo without the goals, and I couldn't stand Igalo at Manchester United. So if you're as bad as Igalo, there's issues there, isn't there?
No, Weghorst. Listen, Weghorst. You know that. What's that? Scott McMahon? What's that? WWE chairman?
Vince
McMahon. You know that video that used to be out. That video. What was that video that he had?
What is it?
And it was like almost like talking about the past and that, like of Weghorst and whatnot.
Oh, you're talking about Vince McMahon. I know which one you're talking
about. Vince McMahon, yeah, that video.
Yeah.
You know what it is with Weghorst? I think now it's like it's dawning on me now how the players are just they don't want to pass to him. That's one thing as well. I've listen. If you're only getting how many passes in the game, did he even get?
I think it was 7.
Yeah. The players have lost all confidence, but also I'm ready now for something different. Now I'm ready for Martial to get back in. You know what I mean? I'm ready for Martial to come back in now, and I mean Martial every game. Weghorst for me gave us something different. I won't slate him. I won't, discredit him. I think I'll always give credit for what he did. He's always been available. But you know what? Nah, I need something more, man. Because
Saeed, sorry, I have to say, you can't rate a man just because he's there. Like,
no, but I didn't do that. I don't do that.
No, you just said I'll give him ratings because he's available.
No, I'll give him credit because at the end of the day, hold on a minute. Okay, that's probably the different word because best ability is availability. But also, people were damning him because he was kept playing, and I thought to me, well, where's your other striker? Where's your Martial? Where's the Martial? So I didn't like that blasting on Martial. But yeah, go ahead. But for me, I think time is up maybe to kind of,
bro,
time is up.
And I don't want to make it about the Glazers, but it's the Glazers. Why are Manchester United, the almighty Manchester United? We talk about being the biggest club in the world, wanting to get back to being the best. Why are we getting a striker that isn't even good enough to play for Burnley that are in the Championship? They got rid of him, and he wouldn't even play for their team now. So why are we getting lumped with this player? And it's because of the owners. You can't turn around and say the reason he's playing, or congratulate him on 2 things: that he's there all the time, and he's good in the press. I need more from a striker. He can't control the ball. Ten Hag, fair enough. Ten Hag's rating him, and he's backing him. Whatever. I'm worried that he's saying stuff about he could stay because he's saying his hold-up play is good. It's one of the worst I've ever seen from a striker. He's terrible. He can't run. The centre-backs for Newcastle were on the halfway line. They were leaving him 10 yards offside because they're not scared of him. They're not scared of him. So he can't head the ball. As Faz has said, he can only score by tackling. He's terrible.
You're bad, man. You're bad.
No, it's true. Bro. He puts on the shirt and I back him, whatever. But the evidence is showing me that he's nowhere near the level of playing for He'd struggled in Everton's team. So
No.
why is he playing for us?
Bro.
He would as then, but that's testament to where we're at. The problem that we're seeing with Vegas is he's a squad player who's now being used as a first teamer. Very
Exactly.
similar to Scott McTominay. The reason why we've not heavily criticized Scott McTominay this entire season, throw Fred in that mix as well, because they haven't been playing. Because they've been used as squad players. When a squad player is overused and we see him in the first team on a regular basis, you are going to see his deficiencies. Nobody thinks Vegas is good enough to be a first teamer at Manchester United. I've not heard one person say
I've
that.
never discussed
Yeah,
that.
I know you're saying that. Yeah, you're not saying that. I'm not saying that. The problem is, you mentioned it, because of the Glazers, we are in the predicament where Vegas is our only fit senior striker. He should be third choice at best. That's what it is.
Yeah.
He should be.
I'm gonna get Anonymous user there because he's a member of the channel, and those that are a member of the channel, we don't disrespect them. But this, like I said, he wants me here saying, Saeed, I'm not letting you get away with without addressing the David de Glued allegations.
David de Glued is a hilarious slander.
And again,
David
it's the same guy, by the way, that called that save, that double save in the first half. He called it easy. He called it a routine save.
He's like, you know who that is? He's not an anonymous user, man. That's Roy Keane, man. It's his job. That's what he's gonna say next, man. It's his job.
His job.
It's his
What
job.
else
He's
is he meant
supposed
to
to save.
do? What else is
Listen,
he meant to do?
I know David De Gea has deficiencies, but today I'm not blaming David De Gea. Today again, I'm not blaming David De Gea. Could have been a lot worse, man.
No, I blame not just David De Gea. I put blame on Ten Hag, De Gea, Varane and Martinez. I throw in that mix, Dalot and Shaw as well. Bruno, because he's the captain, in our persistence in
The last goal
trying to play out from the back, because there wasn't every time we got a goal kick, we didn't go short. You know what I'm saying? Not every time we went short. So that means whether it's the manager's instruction or not, you lot can go against the instruction. They're all senior players out there. You are all very experienced to know what you are doing. Why, before the goals went in, before we conceded the first goal, playing out from the back, we almost got caught. Why did we continue to persist with it when it clearly was not working? That's why I don't get. So that's where, not just the Gea, don't get me wrong, there's the other players as well, but somebody has to take control of that situation.
Facts. My question is, people talk about David De Gea being so bad with his feet. I can name you three other players that are bad with their feet.
Yeah,
Varane is another one. People don't want to talk about that. Varane is bad with his feet.
Varane's not the best.
Scott McTominay.
You want him gone?
Another one.
Scott
McTominay. The difference is with Varane is
even people like Dalot in the back it keeps passing it back to De Gea. Bro, get that ball and play it forward. Nobody wants the ball. So we can keep blaming David De Gea, but who's comfortable at the ball? We don't have technicians in this team. We don't have technicians.
And that's why
the problem.
That's why we want a lot of the players gone. You mentioned it there, Varane. Varane isn't the best with the ball, but the reason why I'll defend Varane is because he excels at a lot of other things outside of that. And like we discussed, when we did the special on the channel, and I said it about David De Gea. Word to my brother Tox. Outside of shot stopping, what other attributes does De Gea excel at? We wouldn't accept that from any outfield player. We had a striker last season. No, actually, not last season. This season and last season, who just scored goals. And a lot of the fan base wanted him gone.
Do you think it changes? Say now you had Mike Mania, and he was at the back and he was giving the ball to, let's say, Varane or whoever. Do you think it would change anything?
Yes, it definitely would. Because I watched City Liverpool. So the reason why is let me land. The reason why that is I watched City Liverpool, and it was time City are playing out from the pass, playing out from the Liverpool press. And Edison played 2 or 3 passes. Edison played 2 or 3 passes that are out of this world that enabled them to get out of the press. So does a Mike Mignon change that result today? No, I'm not saying he changes the result, but I'm saying overall it helps. Because again, back to the original point about David De Gea, outside of shot stopping, he excels at nothing else. We will not accept that from any single outfield player. So why do we accept that?
So let me ask you another question then. I'm going to rebuttal that. Today, United failed to keep the ball for more than 5 minutes. Absolutely. Again, the first part of the phase of play is David De Gea. Where is everything else? Why can't Man United keep the ball everywhere else?
I'll respond to that. The reason why we can't keep the ball everywhere else is because the majority of the outfield players, like David De Gea, are not good enough. What have I said to you? What have I said to you, fam? What have I said to you? I want 2 new fullbacks. I said that to you. I've said I want 2 new fullbacks. The 3 midfielders who are out there today, even though I would keep Sabitzer, I want 3 new central midfielders. Right winger Anthony, I'm still looking at, but that adds into it as well. I'm still unsure on Anthony. We definitely need a number 9. We've spoken on that. That's pretty much outside of the. That's 8. Wait, That's 7 outfield players. So we're 7 outfield players, and then you got the goalkeeper. Like someone said in the comment section, the Newcastle fans were cheering when David De Gea had the ball at his feet. That tells you he's a weakness.
No, I get, but then again, I could say they could be cheering for McTominay in the middle of the park. Bruno Fernandes, I see
They
them
probably
cheering
are.
all the time.
They
were
probably
cheering all
were
the
cheering
time.
when they had the ball because them players ain't good enough. That's my point, Saeed.
Again, though, but the thing is, what seems to
That's my
happen
point.
though is that everyone gets caught up with David De Gea. People need to start smelling the coffee and realizing,
with you.
apart from Lisandro Martinez and probably Christian Eriksen, everyone else is shit on the ball. Maybe Sancho,
wouldn't say-
but then
I wouldn't
again,
say
we don't
Casemiro
see the
is.
qualities.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
Sorry?
Casemiro. Casemiro's good.
Casemiro.
Eriksen and Lisandro, sorry. Eriksen and Lisandro. Everyone else is whack at keeping the ball. Everyone. Nobody's good at holding possession, keeping the ball. Everybody's whack.
But here's the thing:
It's
is
only
Saeed,
Lisandro and Eriksen. And that, for me, is a bigger issue than David De Gea.
that is a major problem. I'm not saying David De Gea is the biggest issue, but I'm saying it's a problem. But I bet if me, you, and Double A on this podcast right now was like, you lot can have the perfect window. Who are you replacing in the first team? I guarantee we're at least replacing 7-8 players. Go on, Double A.
As you say, De Gea is not the biggest problem. I think within the fan base, he's becoming the biggest problem. The agenda against him is
interesting.
He's the most criticised player that we have at Manchester United, more so than Maguire because Maguire's not playing.
Mm-hmm.
All I see is De Gea this, De Gea that. There's videos, there's tweets, there's exposés, there's essays, there's dissertations all about Manchester United buying new keepers, all about who we need to get in, why he's not good enough, why he can't do this, why he can't do that. I'm starting to think it's probably best that he goes, and I actually like him, and I think he has improved under Ten Hag.
Yes,
we need to find another way of playing with him, maybe in big games, because not every team is going to play the way Newcastle are going to play against you. We need to find other ways of playing to make him feel more comfortable while he's still learning to play out from the back, or even improve in other areas. I just think now, the way it's going, and you can see it in the chat, you can see it on social media, I don't think there's any way back for De Gea now. I just think his time at the club is probably done. I think the fans want him to move on. He might want to stay. The club might want him to stay, but I just don't think it's going to get any better for him unless he goes. We win the league next season, and he's the reason why. I don't see a way back for him, unfortunately, which is sad because he's been unbelievable through probably the worst one of the worst periods this club's ever had.
Yeah,
and I think it's so easily forgotten, and it's just so quick to dash it, and because some things don't go right this season, because he can't do things that people want him to do, and that patience isn't there anymore, and we see that more and more in the modern game. But yeah, I think it's getting to the point now. It's getting a bit toxic, and I think it'd probably be best for him and for everyone at the club if he probably does move on.
And that's legit. It like someone said in a comment before and said, and I'm not solely blaming De Gea today, people.
No,
legit had this conversation on Friday. No, you might just letting people know. Like we had this conversation on Friday. Like we've had this. Do I believe he is the biggest problem? No. So I understand where Saeed's issue comes from, because people act like he's the main point. No. He's not he's not the major problem in the team. There's other problems, but do I want improvement on that? Yes, that's just me though. That's just me. And yeah, you lot bump up the likes. There's 1,000.
Yeah, there's
of
1,000 here, man.
Right.
Let's get the likes on, man. Should be on 500 at least.
What's going on, man? What is this Chelsea attackers conversion rate? What are we doing, man?
Exactly, innit?
Bump up the likes, man.
Come on, man, people. Let's bump up the likes, man.
Bruno pass completion conversion rate.
Yeah, exactly, man. Let's get more likes than Bruno. Exactly, man. This one here is a bit of a worry for me, and I've called about it this season. The top 9 games, this is our record, man. And this is not including today's one as well. So you got today's one as well. So you got Brentford at the start of the season. But I'm going to allow that one because Ten Hag's first 2 games, Man City was poor. 4-0 at one point, wasn't it? Aston Villa 3-1. Manager bounce. We got caught on a wrong day there. Okay, I can forgive you for that one. Arsenal, top of the league. I probably could forgive you for that one because obviously last minute. But then again, I thought the end, I think it was a bit negative, maybe the tactics. But then the Liverpool game 7-0. That was embarrassing. And then today, we lost here. Double A, man, this ain't good enough, And I'm going to show you as well the defensive record as well after that as well, away from home. But yeah, man, this is not good reading, man, for Man United.
I'm gonna try and be positive. Yeah.
Yeah, of
I'm
course,
gonna-
always.
I'm gonna try and be positive, and I say that very tentatively, and I expect to get a little bit of pushback from the chat or whatever. But let's remember where we were last season, and I think we all need to remember that we are not 3 years into this new cycle of
Talk to these people, Double A, man.
We-
You
we
took the
are-
words out my mouth. Sorry to cut you off, man. Go on, carry on.
It's calm, bro. You know, we're
Carry
very early. We're very early into this new Ten Hag era, and there's going to be bumps in the road. Always going to be bumps in the road. Have the bumps been a little bit bigger than we would have liked? Absolutely. But we need to remember that a lot of these players don't have the mentality of winners. They are riding on the back of Casemiro, Varane, Martinez. De Gea is a winner for me. So let's remember that some of these players are going to let you down consistently. And we've seen it. Once the Liverpool game is the biggest example of, again, I go back to when you were a kid and you're getting battered and you just switch off because you think, I can't be asked. We're 4-5 down. I just want to get home and go out and go and drink a bottle of White Lightning. I can't be bothered anymore. So some of these players are doing the same. And one player, someone said it in the chat, and one player I'm a bit annoyed he's getting a new contract is Luke Shaw. I like Luke Shaw. I've raved about him for certain games this season, but he was Alex Butner out there today. And I think we're seeing that creep in a little bit more. He secured the new contract, and we've said it all the time. It's a case of he plays for a contract, he gets it, he has a bit of competition, and then as soon as he secured it, he's back to being the one who lets you down a little bit. People were talking about De Gea for the second goal. Why is he making that challenge in the first place? There's no need. Shepherd him out of play. The free kick don't happen. It's still 1-1. And we're still in
Why
the
is he
game.
always positionally awful as well, Luke Shaw? Like, what? Why is it with Luke Shaw like he's always in no man's land?
You know why that is, Saeed? Because very similar to Bruno Fernandes, he's just not that good. That's simply what it is.
Well, wait, what Ten Hag thinks he's good. We've given him a new contract.
I'm hoping it's one or two things. One, to either if we do sell him and negotiating from a position of power, or two, he's there to play as a backup centre back. I do like him at centre back.
I'm big up to AJ. I did say AJ. You're right. I said I was unsure giving him a contract when he's a guy who needs motivation. He needs something to work towards. End of the season, we get top 4. We do this. We do that. We achieve our targets. By all means, new contract based on what we've done this season. Okay, but not now. Not when we've only won one trophy and the season's still a lot to play for. But yeah, go on, Double A.
Let's be honest. Like we're saying about Shaw, it's like he's just forever. Like the reason why he's probably got a contract, and I don't want to look too deep into it and worry anyone, but that screams to me. You said Ten Hag likes him. It's more of a case of it saves us having to buy another left back. We've not got the money, and if the Glazers are going to be here over the summer, we're absolutely screwed. We're absolutely screwed. So tying him down to another contract is a lot cheaper than going out and spending 30, 40 million, maybe even 50 million on a top class left back. I think people are talking about phasing out. Bruno's going to get phased out and De Gea's going to get phased out. Luke Shaw needs to be phased out very, very quickly. I'd like to see Malacia getting more games at the back end of the season and the start of next season and giving Alvaro Fernandez a Premier League loan and then seeing how he does in the Premier League because he's doing well for Preston. I've been keeping an eye on him. He's doing very, very well. I'd like to see him get a Premier League loan next season and then we start to phase Shaw out. He's got a 4-year contract. Next season, it's down to 3 years and we go and get 25 mil for him. I'd be very happy with that. There's certain players I'm coming to the end of my cycle with now, and it's hard to defend them. Luke Shaw, for me, is definitely, and I take back that Paul Luke Shaw Deeney stuff because I'm not on it anymore.
Listen,
I'm not on that.
Malacia, and by the way, big up to Nate H as Saeed. I was disgusted watching that today. What the hell was McTominay playing an advanced role, midfield role? The manager needs to address his decisions. He needs to, and I will talk about that in a second. I think Malacia is the most unluckiest, the unluckiest player at Man United, really, if I'm being honest with you, man. He has good performances, but just never seems to get rewarded, never seems to keep his position. I don't know what it is. The manager sees different. Same way today. What the hell happened to Wan-Bissaka, man? Who gave him food poisoning, man? What's my man eating in Manchester, man? Like, Nuruddin says he always sees him in Archie's. You know what I mean? In Oxford Road, yeah. So I don't know, Archie's man.
You need to you know them spots, man. You need to hook him up with the safe spots to eat, man. It's on you.
He's been going,
Saeed, man. It's
he's
on
been
you.
going Dixie Chicken on Stockport Road in Levin. That's what
Yeah, he's
been
going
doing.
Dixie Chicken, man. Don't go to Dixie, man. Brother,
Yeah,
you know
Stay away
what I
from
mean?
Dixie Chicken, man.
Yeah, go
Listen.
to the one in Longside, not the one in
Yeah.
Levenshulme. You'll be all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's what I go to. You'll be all right.
Listen, man. Go to Pepe's, man. Get some grilled food, man. You know what I'm saying to you? Allow these dodgy spots, man. Big up to Toby's in the chat.
Big up Tobes,
Listen, man.
Big up
I'm
Tobes.
glad you're not on the show tomorrow, by the way. I'm glad you enjoy your time
Mm.
in Ghana. You know what I mean? Is it Ghana or did you go in Kenya? Kenya. Listen, enjoy your time over there. But yeah, I'm glad you're not on the show tomorrow. But yeah, listen. This record here, look at this stat here is a bit worrying here. Look, I'm going to show you here. Man United this season, goals conceded away from home, 27, 17th in the league. Expected goals, 10th in the league. Shots faced, 178, 9th in the league. Shots on target, 66, 9th in the league. Save ratio, 59%, 17th in the league. Obviously, the goals, the amount of goals we conceded doesn't help. But yeah, again, it's not good enough, man. You know what I mean? Away from home, I don't know what it is, man. We've not been convincing all season. I said it to people today, like, I can't think of a convincing away performance this season. Like, I generally can't. Maybe Everton, maybe Chelsea. We should have won Chelsea. But away from home, I don't think I can give you a convincing away. Like, even people say Leeds. Leeds, we scored two last-minute goals, didn't we? Or goals, was it Rashford got a header? And Garnacho got one late on. I think the first half was smelly. You know,
decent against with clutching at straws. Wolves away, we was okay.
I don't know. I was
okay.
there, but
we was okay.
we
I
were
never said we was
defensively
good.
resolute, but
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man.
We
Chelsea
were better when Rashford come on.
Double A mentioned it though. We are in the first season of our rebuild.
Yeah.
We know where we need to improve.
No, I understand that.
The first thing the manager wants to do when you're at Manchester United is get your home form right. I'm not here excusing the away form. It's been poor, but we know where we need to improve. Because I was just looking at the table. So if people want us to be perfect already, say we would have won 22 points off Arsenal. If we would have won 4 of those games, in that we'd lost away from home, we'd be 10 points. You know what I'm saying in that?
Yeah.
And then no. Wrong maths in that. 22 points. Yeah, 10 points. Yeah, exactly. Yes, I was right. We'd be 10 points off Arsenal with 2 games in hand. What would people be saying? You're in a title race. We know where we need to improve. That's all it is. I'm saying we've made Old Trafford a fortress. I'm saying our home record in terms of results at Old Trafford is spot on. Yeah. So away is now the next one. Let's get better on the road, but we know where this team is short. You just said, Saeed, legit, when we're talking about De Gea, there's 2 players who you trust technically in the team. 2 out of 11. And then you wonder why we're bad away from home. We still have levels to go. Don't let the Carabao Cup and the potential Europa League and the potential FA Cup double.
So you think there's still massive issues at Man United then?
I've been screaming this on your here with you, Saeed, saying this week in, week out. I've been saying there's massive holes still left in this squad. Don't let the performances and most of the results fool you in the good form. We are still a long way away from where we need to be. With the correct signings, we can get there. But the away form shows that. Look at those away stats. It's horrific. Yeah, go on, Double A.
Oh, sorry, bro. I was going to say, we've said so many times on this show that Ten Hag is a magician because it's like a hand. He's showing us what he can. He's a magician and he's performing magic, and that's what he's doing. But eventually, you peek behind the curtain, you realize that magic isn't real. So. And then you're faced with the reality of there's no rabbit in the hat, and that's what we're seeing at the moment with this team. We've long said we knew we couldn't keep the form going while it was happening. Yes, you believe because that's what you want to do. That's what football's about, man. If we're close to the top, you've got to think and have the mentality that yes, we will try our best to win the league or win anything that you're still in to maybe win. Obviously, we've seen more and more, and the form is dropping off. The players and the performances are dropping off, and you are where you are. And I expect us to get over the line with top 4, but the fact that we're making it a race is very frustrating.
Yeah, exactly.
All I'll ever say to anyone that has anything that is moaning about this season is really showing anger towards the players' team and everything like that. Yes, you can be mad at the performances, but let's just remember where we were last season. The worst ever performing Manchester United team in Premier League history. Nowhere near winning anything. And this manager's got us 1 trophy, potentially another 2. So let's just have a calm head, like me and Falls have been saying. Let's not overreact. We go again Wednesday, to coin a Gerrard phrase, and we see where we are. And listen, I'm excited to get to Old Trafford and get these players over the line again, battering Brentford, and we go and get top 4 and win 2 more trophies. Why not?
Yeah, of course. Listen, yeah, go on, Flawless.
No, and I was just gonna say, legit. That's it. Like, yes, we're coming off the worst ever season. Let's not let one result stop the progress. Is that away record horrific against the top 9? Bear in mind, we still have Spurs to play. We still have Brighton to play. So
we have to be careful. We have to be careful. And this is why I said away from home, it's still a bit creepy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Brentford's not a gimme. Guys, Brentford isn't a gimme.
That's definitely not a gimme, but this is where the players and the manager need to bounce back and stand up and be counted in their defense. More often than not, when we've lost, we have done that. I don't think we've lost back-to-back games since the opening day of the season. So that's testament. And people are looking at where we need to be, which is all well and good. I look ahead to see where we need to be. But don't forget about how far United have come along. Because if someone would have said at this time in the season, you'd be joint 3rd, you would have the Carabao Cup in the bag, and you'd be on for 2 more trophies, we would have said, what are you smoking? That's what I would have said to the person in terms of length of and the window we've had and the impact that the signings have had and the fact that all the players, bar AA, like he mentioned, Bruno and Sancho, have gotten better. I'm saying, but they're still not good enough. Like, the sky is not falling. Like, we took a bad L today. It was horrendous performance. The away form needs to improve. But Ten Hag knows what he needs to do in the summer. I believe so anyway. I have full faith.
Old Trafford. There's a lot of comments coming in saying that Tony's gonna cook us, this and this. Listen, Old Trafford, it could, he won't. Old Trafford will be absolutely rocking again, and I think let's. I'm not bigging myself up because I'm a season ticket holder, same as Saeed, but going to every game at Old Trafford, the fans have been absolutely unreal this season, and
it's a little comfort blanket in it though. When at Old Trafford, in it, you know what I mean. The players maybe they need to start, you know what I mean, like. Sometimes we had to pull the sheets up, man. You know what I mean?
It was the other way around with Ollie. We couldn't win at home.
Ollie had a superior away record. He won for call. People got too much interest in records. What's the progress? What's the trophy
that's
count?
the point, Flawless.
I'm not comparing it to the Liverpool game because it's not as bad as what it was at the start of the season. But I said then after them 2 losses, I said you will see the atmosphere of the season against Liverpool. And the fans will make sure that United perform, and we went and won. I expect something similar on Wednesday because we need to win and they need to perform, and the fans are backing them. So I expect us to win on Wednesday because I think the players, I think that are feeling the heat, and they should be feeling the heat, and the fans are going to let them know that it's time to start. Putting the ball in the back of the net and winning some games.
Big up to Alien Tenor says Ollie had a superior away record. He won FO. Yeah, that is a good point as well, man. The technically inept players must be sold. You're right. Let's do some player ratings, man. For today. David De Gea, what are you giving him?
You gotta give him an average 6, I think. I don't think he was the worst player on the pitch, but
I would have said about 5, but I'm not really going to dispute a 1 mark with you.
I'd say an average 6.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think because we lost the game, and overall, I'd probably give him a 5 as well. 5 for me. Nothing. Obviously, he made that double save, but all in all, we lost the game, and I'm gonna go with a 5. Let us know in the comments. 5, yeah. Majority 5s in the chat. Let's go with Dalot. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he got cooked relentlessly by Sam Maximum. Didn't really get forward enough for me. He made that cross in the first half, which was decent. Dalot, I'm going to give him a 4. 4 for me.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'm worried about Dalot. There was too much talk about him being the next Cafu earlier on in the season. And the fact that we are now missing Wan-Bissaka, a player that was almost out the door until the higher up stopped it, tells you a lot that, Dalot needs, people are saying it to him to his face, find the form again that he had in the start of the season. So I worry for him, but yeah, four for me. Maybe Virgin a 3.5, I think.
Yeah.
Four's about a fair. I'm not really going to argue on Mark here.
But yeah, four's fine.
Wan-Bissaka for you guys, just let you know. Are you Wan-Bissaka starting over Dalot?
Right now,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
right
Absolutely.
now,
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, Dalot gets a 4. Varane, I can't lie, he cost us for the first goal. Not entirely him, but he was
a
very
part of it. The hair with that hospital ball. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, the Hayward the hospital ball, then McTominay faffing around, then you know what I mean. But Varane was in there again. I don't know. Did he look?
I thought defensively he was good though.
Yeah, he was good.
Him and Martinez were the only reason it was 0-0 at halftime. They were the only two ones you look at and go, yeah, you two. I'd personally say probably a 5.
I'm gonna say 4 for Varane.
You think Varane was as poor as the
Yeah, I think 4 for me. Because second half for me, first half, I'd say it was averaging a 6. But I think the second half for me.
What would you give him the second
I'm
half?
giving him a 4. Sorry?
What would you? So you said first half he was a 6. What was his second half rating for you? A 4?
I just think for me, defensively, he just looked a bit like
What?
very, very unsure. Like just panic stations came up. And again, I'm not blaming it onto him, but I'd probably say 4, 4.5. You know what I mean?
Also, that equals out as a 5 then.
But
You
one
got
thing,
6 and a 4.
I was gonna say 6, an average 6, because he got dragged off, which was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
Let's be honest. If he's on the pitch, they don't score that goal. They don't. Wilson don't score that header. Absolutely no way. We had no one tall. He took everyone tall off. Lindelof shit in the air. We had no one.
What was he doing, by the way? What was Ten Hag doing, by the way?
He's going for the game there. You're going for
I don't know. But I was going to say a 6, so it probably works out as a 5, doesn't it? I guess.
All right, then 5. Yeah. 5 for me.
Yeah,
Lisandro, probably the same. Even though I think for me, I think, you know what, to be fair, I'm going to give Martinez a 6 probably. Cool. Just because of the first half. But again, I don't know. It could be a 5. Let me know your comments below.
Yeah, I would say an average 6. Again, he's consistent, and I think
a 6, cool.
We love him.
What are you saying?
Yeah. I think I was going to say a 5 because I think he was around that. Like he was good defensively. He a couple for unlike him. And being very critical.
2 goals, man. So
he still conceded 2 goals, and he was sloppy in terms of a couple passes, and that's the level he's at. I think a 5 is fair.
He conceded 1 because he wasn't on the pitch for the second.
Yeah.
I would say a 5 personally, but I'm not going to argue you, man.
I'm with you.
If you man was saying like an 8 or a 9 or 1 or a 2, I'd say that I'd be arguing. But yeah, 5.
Yeah,
I think
I can go 5.
Yeah. Luke Shaw for me, I think he got cooked all game. I'm gonna go 3.
Yeah, you know what? Just for giving away that stupid free kick, you gotta be smart. I'd say a 3 as well.
3.
Without that, I would have said a 4. But
yeah.
Doing that and acting like an idiot again, I'd go for 3 for sure.
Yeah. McTominay. Oh gosh.
Can you give minus? I don't know.
That's solid.
I don't.
Solid. What did he do?
I'm bored of him, man.
Solid 2?
Yeah, 2.
2, yeah, 2, man. Yeah, sure. Yeah,
listen, man.
2 for me. Big up to Sniper Scopes to Saeed. Do you think the difference between Arteta and Eric is Arteta gave up trophies for league and now amount of games is captured United? I don't think so because
excuses.
Exactly. Yeah, no. And you're not been vindicated, have you? You're not won the league yet, so
that's nonsense.
Yeah, it's too early to say anyway. So I think this question maybe at the end, if we have a question.
The thing is, say stuff like he gave up trophies. Like, no, you went into games and you got beat. You didn't give up anything. Giving up like saying you won it and then said, nah, actually, no, we'll give it to someone else more deserving.
They got kicked out.
You got knocked out of tournaments. Don't come with that shit.
Yeah, let's go double A.
Come on, let's go. We might be down here, but we're not out. We might be down, but we ain't out. McTominay, yeah, I'm gonna go over 2 or 3. Yeah. You know what I mean? Listen, if that, man, I don't know what you guys are saying. 2, 3.
Yeah, 2's fair, isn't it? 2 is fair.
Bruno Fernandes, I'm gonna give a 3.
Yeah.
3. Bruno Fernandes.
Someone in the chat gonna say a 7, guaranteed.
Well, there you go, exactly. You know
someone in the chat gonna say a 7, guaranteed. Someone's go, yeah, nah, not too bad. The 6 or 7. There's one.
Yeah.
Here's one of you lot.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. There you go. There we go. Abdi is trolling, isn't it? He's trolling. Yeah. He's trolling.
Abdi, yeah. Ha ha ha.
Bruno, yeah, 2 3s. Yeah, I mean, like, it's crazy. Sabitzer, I'm not gonna lie to you.
4.
Yeah, four.
I, I,
Guys,
I,
what do you
don't,
think
I,
about
don't think,
Sabitzer?
I don't think he was helped with the first half of being asked to play on his own as a 6. He's
Honest
not gonna
opinions
come
about
out-
Sabitzer, though, in general. Do you think he's been played out of position every single time just to accommodate the team?
He's
We're
not,
not
he's
seeing
not
the best of Sabitzer.
because he's not been given chance to. I think
No.
you have to play against with McTominay and Fred. No, you can't. No one's going to get. You struggle to get the best out of Zidane with them too. So the fact you're asking Sabitzer to do it, let's see him with Casemiro. Let's see him with Eric. Like I said, I'd like to see that midfield 3 of them 3. I think that could cook. I think that could be brilliant.
Yeah, I like that
Yeah.
idea.
At the moment, there was stuff coming out saying he's happy, he wants to stay. We've not seen enough. I can't say keep him because I liked him at Leipzig, and I think
That's true. You have to show me what you got.
What I
doing
would say
United
is,
shirt.
have we seen Sabitzer and Casemiro next to each other yet?
I think we
I
did
don't
for a
think
little bit.
but it's not started the game, has it?
Second half of one game. I
Second
can't
half,
remember it was.
yeah.
We need to see
Second half.
2 or 3 consistent games, them 2 next to each other. That's what I want to see.
Overall, I like Sabitzer, and I think he'd be a very good squad player. If you're talking 20 million, Fred, to me, he's a better version of Fred. So I would go and get Sabitzer.
Yeah.
100%. And when I say that, people, I'm talking like 5th choice. There's Casemiro, upgrade on Ericsson, back up to Casemiro, and then Sabitzer. Sabitzer should be the level of a squad player. Whereas when he goes into the team, like, all right, Sabitzer's playing today. Cool.
Sabitzer's playing. That's what I said, though. Sabitzer, again, big up to KD says you're going to get knocked out of all competitions. Wait.
You've already won one, my guy. How many trophies you lot won?
Exactly.
Hey, if you can't put your trophies, if your club can't put no trophies on the table in 2023, I don't want to hear from you.
Yeah. Guys, we need to call out Bruno and Rashid. We call out Bruno. Rashid, we got the player rates to come, but I appreciate Super Chat. You know Sabitzer, Sabitzer, if I'm being really, really honest, if we signed him, great. If we didn't, I'm not sad.
But I can't even say great because someone said stop. He's not good enough. Stop making excuses. Wait,
but would you hold him in though? Would you be not sad? What the word is? Would you be asked though if we bought him for like 15 million, 50, 20 million? I don't think I would be that concerned
on current performances. Yes, because I don't think he's done enough. I don't think he's done enough. One decent flick against Fulham is not enough for me to go and spend 50 million because we've wasted enough money in the past. 50 million is 50 million at the end of the day. I need more before I can say I want to sign him.
I've seen enough from him in terms of attributes where I go get him in, but it needs to be Sabitzer and it can't be Sabitzer. To me, when I say that, because I'm looking at this specifically, let me make this clear, people. I'm saying Sabitzer as a squad player. Sabitzer should not be starting games for us week in, week out. He shouldn't be first option off the bench. He should be 5 out of 5. If you want to keep a Fred, he should be 5 out of 6. But we need to go and sign midfielders for that pivot. We need to go sign 2 more. That's just my personal opinion.
Is something that comes under everything. It's like the cherry on top. Again, United always make the cherry on top the main part of the cake.
Man, he's a better version of Fred. He's a technically secured version of Fred. If you make Fred a little bit taller, you know what I'm saying, with bad technique, he's Sabitzer.
Yeah. HK Moon says Hogwarts and stabilize should not be signed. Today I heard sanitizer. You lot need to chill, man. I heard sanitizer today to talk about Sabitzer. Let's listen. I think for me, Sabitzer still has a long way to the end of the season. We might think differently of him. There's still a long way to go in the season, man. So let's see. Who have we missed out? Okay, up front, Anthony. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's 2 games I've seen of Anthony. Yes, he gave us the best moments of the game, but I also thought passing wise, there was a few moments in transition where I thought he was poor. But I think for me overall, he gave us the 2 best moves of the game. One, we played it into Dalot, and the other one we played it to Weghorst. So I think for me overall, I think I would go as far as giving him a 6.
I was going to say 5. But I won't argue with 6.
Yeah, I was gonna go with an average 6. I think he was our best attacker, and I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry that he got dragged off. I think Rashford didn't play.
He looked pissed off.
Yeah, he should. What we don't want to fall down the route of now is you left Rashford on, and Rashford did nothing. So I think we don't want to become that team that is keeping players on who are playing poorly because he may produce a moment like we saw against Sevilla away. I think we don't want to go down that road, and I feel sorry for Anthony that he came off. I'd give him an average 6. I think, like I say, I think he was our best attacker until Martial came on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, guys, there's 1,000 people here. We still haven't hit 500 likes. Let's get to 500 likes. We're wrapping up the show soon. Please, guys, get to 500 likes. So if you haven't liked the video already, hit the like button, people. So Anthony, we've considered 6. Rashford for me, bro. Listen, you know what it is here with Rashford, yeah? And this is no criticism of Rashford. I think for me, the goals he's got this season, but when he doesn't score goals, it's not very effective, though. And that's the worry for me a little bit. Again, I'm not discrediting his goals. He's been one of our best attackers this season. But if he doesn't score, and again, this is almost stupid for me to say, because anybody, if they don't score goals, what have they done for you? But I still want to see a refined game from Rashford in terms of, if you're not scoring goals, are you still having a good performance? And today, I'm going to go as far as, what did I give the lowest performing today? What did I give McTominay?
You gave McTominay a 2.
2.
I'm going to give Rashford a 3.
Cool. What did you give Anthony? 6. You go with 6.
6.
All
Yeah,
right, cool.
There was something in the chat then about the reason Rashford didn't get subbed because he can perform.
That's
something
true.
But I just said then we don't want to be that team that has one player playing on despite him stinking up the gaff because he could produce something. And you're saying you want to see more refined performances, and I think the dribbling and is going out of his game a little bit. And I think he's going to end up a number 9 at Manchester United. If he stays at United, I think he's going to get moved to the centre. Ten Hag's played that a little bit. He likes that way. You know, he can run in behind, which you don't see a lot nowadays. I can see him ended up and not going out of his game completely, and him becoming a number 9 for United if we go out and get a couple of some other wingers. Or Ahmad coming back, and Palestri improving, and Garnacho. He could end up being the centre, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he did nothing today. Listen, I'm not being generous. He did nothing, but I can't put him lower than McTominay, who was probably the worst player there. I just think for me, not good at flawless. What did you think today? Again, just
Rashford. Yeah, he wasn't helped because it's not like we gave him the ball in a lot of situations and he was wasteful, but you still have to do more. And the reason why he was that, I think he should have been taken off, or definitely shouldn't have been taken off before Anthony. I think a 3 is fair. Literally, we're arguing what, 2 or 1. You're arguing 1 or 2 points. I say a 3.
Yeah. And then the main man, I can't lie to you. Can we give him lower than McTominay? But can we give him, because he didn't do anything?
I'd say a 3. I think it's like Rashford.
What? The thing is, that he's been doing that every game for me. A lot of the games, it's a standard Weghorst performance. So you would say it's an average performance for him. I'm not going to give him a 6.
So you're trying to give him a 5 then?
I'm not going to give him a 6. But I think let's look at this week and how United fans were being taught. Do you know, Igal actually asked me a serious question, dead serious. Would I play McTominay as Manchester United striker? Right. So this hype that's been around him all week, and he's come in and been dead. The deadest performance I've seen for a long time. I can't then say that Weghorst was worse than McTominay because I expected that performance from Weghorst. I didn't expect McTominay to be as bad as he is. So I'd say maybe I'd give him a 2.1 just so it's not as bad as McTominay.
Look at this comment here. Your man, Saeed, the Powland, Kiefer, more tall and shit, nothing productive with the ball. I don't know, man. I just think for me, it's time to get him out of the firing line. You know, for the sake of his own. You know what I mean?
You did to McTominay, yeah, man. You get a squad player and stop playing him week in, week out, and he'll receive less criticism.
Yeah. George is not happy there. I won't read it out. But yeah, listen, I think that's what it's coming down to now, man. The fan base are not happy. And, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Even I'm not happy now. I'm not happy for his sake, but I'm just not happy that now, you know what I mean? The team now, all of a sudden, you know, we need a little bit more, and it's not giving us that. And it's nothing down to him, but it's just not the quality, really, for my United Football Club. Martial, I thought decent cameo. I give him a 5. Decent cameo.
5's fair.
5.
I'm saying he had the touch, the turn, and the shot. I thought Sancho was poor when he came on today.
Sancho, again, this is what I say about people. They don't listen to me. Sancho is not an impact player. Sancho is a rhythm player. But the manager doesn't seem to understand. I don't know what he's a manager. Yes, he scored goals against Leicester when he came on, but he needs to be starting games. And if he
Problem
doesn't
is
start games, I worry about his future. I really do.
Yeah,
If he
but
doesn't
I
start
do.
games-
But the problem is with Sancho. What's his best position? He's in that realm now.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
an
it's in
issue.
that realm. It's serious, man.
That's the
It's serious.
dangerous place to be. I think Sancho is super talented. I'm a big fan of Sancho, but I'm looking at you and I'm going, I don't want to say it, but have you got it? And when I say have you got it, not the talent, it's a pace, it's an athlete's game, man. It's pace and power. He's not got it.
He's
That's
fast.
why we
He's
see-
fast.
Yeah, go on.
As I say, he's fast approaching Donny van der Beek territory for me. And
Oof.
you know, you no. I say
That's crazy. But yeah, go on.
I say it, Saeed, because you know, Flawless at the start of the season said I'm going to give him 10 games, and I said no, it needs to be a season. And you know, he had 3 months off, or however long it was off. He had a long time off, but we need to see that impact straight away when you come back. As soon as you're in the team, and he did a little bit at the number 10, got a goal. Was it against Leicester? And it's been non-existent ever since then. So, what are you doing? How are you getting back into this team? How are we going to get you back into this team and putting people out that aren't performing? How are you getting above Rashford if he's not scoring goals? How are you getting Anthony if he's not doing anything? And I think he's really struggling. And if he can't do it soon, he's going to be in that. I mean, when I say he's in Donny van der Beek territory, it's whether he should be at the club at all. And I think Donny is there. And I think Sancho is getting that because it's a lot of money that we paid for him. And I want him to do well. Don't get me wrong. I love him. I want him to be the player that we thought we bought. I want him to be this amazing world-class winger. I want all this. Don't get me wrong. But he needs to do his bit. We can't do that for him.
Yeah, he's fast approaching I don't want to have the conversation about him. Well, I'm fast approaching, looking at it, and I'm like,
I said at the end of the season,
you're not doing enough. Yeah, I'm like, you're not doing enough. And I'm like, what's your best position? I personally think he's probably best centrally, but then off the ball, is he going to give you what is required by Ten Hag? Is he here to be a backup 10? Like, he's good.
With Ahmad coming, with Ahmad Diallo coming, with
he'll be
United
right there.
reinforcing next summer, with Garnacho, for me, I'm not going to lie to you, I think he's more of a, what he gives United,
It's
the
it's
impact,
different.
it suits United more in a sense because of the way we play and the transition and the you know, Garnacho could give you an impact, but I love Sancho, but it's getting to that time. And I said for me, end of the season, we'll have that conversation. I said, give him time.
I don't even want to have it, man.
Hey?
I don't even want to have it. The
Well, there
side
you
quest
go.
is the conversation on like it's uncomfortable for me. I don't because I'm a big fan of his, but it's getting to that point where I'm looking at you how I look at João Felix at Chelsea. I'm like, talented player, yes, but what is your productivity? Yes, he is technically one of our best players, but technicality, you need to offer more. João Felix, who I keep using as the example, has been spoken about for years when he was at Atletico Madrid. Quality baller, super talented. What are you producing?
Yeah, facts, yeah. Listen, we'll get to that conversations when we do, but people, still over 1,000 people here, so the retention audience-wise has been amazing. I can't thank you enough. It's been therapy. Tomorrow we continue. Nuruddin will be there tomorrow. Straight Jacket podcast.
Good. What time's that?
Yeah, man. We'll see what Nuruddin's got to say about it.
What time's that from? What time?
5 o'clock, man. So
okay, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be
yeah,
good.
man. Yeah, man. Listen, it's been a good one. Double A. Appreciate it, man. Let them know where they can find you as well, man.
Yeah, man. Big up to you and Flawless every single time. I love the show, and I feel a lot better now. I feel like I've had a good conversation about everything, not just the game, but where we stand in general. But you know, I love my club, so I want them to do well, regardless of results or whoever it is playing. But yeah, me obviously Double A. I'm the main man over at Talking Kit. So if you're into your football shirts, see my Casemiro shirt there. Nice 2004, 2006 United shirt there. Head over to the YouTube channel. Live shows, pre-recorded videos as well. If you're into your football shirts, are the best place for it. But yeah, make sure you're following these two as well because the two of the biggest in the game. Also as well, we've not said it. Big up to Flawless, man. 6K, absolutely.
Yeah, man. I forgot about that. Big up, man.
Really good, and you know it's deserved because like Saeed says, the hardest working man on YouTube. So
love to you.
Yeah,
man.
big up everyone. If 1,000 of you in here, listen. I think we're a couple away a few away from 500 still. So if you go over there, now, get me over to 500. I would massively appreciate it. Yeah. So big up everyone.
Yeah. Less than 50 of you need to subscribe. I'm just gonna put the link in the chat. Make sure you go over to subscribe there. It's in the description as well. Make sure you go over there and subscribe to Double A. Let's get
Subscribe,
to
people.
500 by the end of this video. Flawless, man. Let them know where they can find you, man. Big up as well.
Love,
6K
man.
as well.
Appreciate that, man. Sarcasm City TV on YouTube and on the Twitch, people. Obviously, there's Manchester United content over on the YouTube, as well as we cover the rest of the Big Six in the Premier League, as well as the Premier League over on the Twitch. NBA season is, NBA playoffs is soon start. Well, play-ins and playoffs start this month. So we're doing the NBA watch-alongs, both the play-ins and playoffs over on the Twitch as well, where you get the Champions League watch-alongs and the fan calling shows as well. Oh, there's live stream schedules on both the YouTube and the Twitch. So Sarcasm City TV on YouTube. Please make sure you go subscribe live every day, twice a day, and then go make sure you go follow on the Twitch as well, because you get some separate content on both. Yeah, man, we're gonna get to 7K. Big up for having me as always, Saeed. Appreciated. Double A, always great as well. And to someone in the chat who said João Felix is way better than Sancho. I wasn't saying Sancho is better. I was talking about them as players. That's the point I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
João Felix got 1 goal in 9-10 games, but that's uncomfortable conversations for people, but we move.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, big up also Andy Tate. Couldn't be with us today. Last couple of weeks,
Big up
he's
Andy Tate,
got some
Big up, Andy, man.
chill with his family and that. So yeah, man. Andy Tate, if you're watching, big up to yourself as usual.
Big up, Andy.
And I hopefully see you soon, man. Guys, like I said, tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow. And yeah, man, another difficult loss away at home, man. Familiar story is what it is. Take care, guys. Bye. Peace.